Hello, grade 12 learners. Welcome to another exciting session of mathematical literacy. This lesson is proudly brought to you by the Free State Department of Education in collaboration with Pagama Research and Development. My name is Nikki Wezulu, and today we'll be revising the final push for our paper 2. I hope you guys enjoyed today's paper 1. I took a glimpse of the question paper and I think it was a fairly good paper. So if you listened well to all your teachers' teachings, if you're watching this broadcasting yesterday, I'm so confident that you guys definitely did well on your paper 2. So today we are gearing up for our paper 2 that we'll be writing on Monday. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the exam structure and work with the topics for paper 2. So with the paper 2, girls and boys, the same as paper 1, the paper is out of 150 marks and the duration of the paper is 3 hours. With paper 2, like I said yesterday with paper 1, that you make sure that you arrive on time, you have your stationery with you. So the most important thing for paper 2, it is your calculator. Make sure that you have a calculator. You also have your ruler. A ruler is very important for paper 2 because there's going to be a lot of measurements that will be expected to take in the exam. So make sure that you've got your proper ruler, you've got a working calculator, you've got your pen, your pencil, and your eraser. So these are the topics that are going to be in Monday's paper. It is the topic of maps, plans, and other representations of the physical world. And this topic weighs 40% in the question paper. 40% of 150 is the same as 60 marks. And then the section of measurement, which is the biggest topic in mathematical literacy, this one weighs 55%. If you convert it to marks, this is equivalent to 83 marks in the question paper. And lastly, the section of probability, you will also find this in your paper 2. And the total number of marks that you'll find in paper 2, it is 7 marks for probability. So do not be surprised if you see some parts of finance in your paper 2, but the parts that you're going to see of finance in paper 2 will just be a small part. For example, if maybe someone wants to tile a room and you have to calculate the costs that the person will incur as they go and buy the tiles. Or another example is if someone maybe is traveling from one place to another, if you have to calculate the cost of petrol or the cost of the entire trip. So that is where you'll be seeing those parts of finance. So the structure of our paper on Monday, when you get your question paper 10 to 9, when they say you may start reading, you will note that for question 1, like today's paper, question 1 has level 1 type of questions only. Those are your easiest questions. So that is definitely the question that you want to start with. So the topics that you'll find under question 1 will be your topics of maps and plans, and you'll also find the topic of measurement in question 1. And then your question 2 will have maps and plans. All the different types of maps, all the different types of plans, you'll find them under question 2. And then question 3 will strictly be on measurements. That is where you'll see your conversions, your calculations of perimeter, area, volume, surface area, even BMI. You can find it under the section of question 3, under the question 3, topics of measurement. And then your question 4 and your question 5, they will have integration. Integration means that the topics are put together. That is where you'll see your measurement and your maps and plans put together. So those ones, you'll see them under question 4 and question 5. And the topic of probability, you can find it anywhere in the questions. You can find probability in question 1, you can find it in question 2, you can find it in question 3, you can find it in question 4 or 5. So probability is a freestyler. It's a freestyler. Can be found anywhere. So let's take a look at the possible exam questions. The floor plan for an apartment is shown alongside. Use the information on the floor plan to answer the following questions. before you even answer the questions, and this is what we're also going to do on Monday, we want to study our floor plan first. So very important, they gave us a key that if you see something like this, you must know that it represents a window. So I'm looking at it here. It means here there is a window, and then there are measurements here for the floor plan. I also see some measurements there for this floor plan. And then we've got the furniture that is shown inside. And then very importantly, there is also a compass direction. Before we go to the questions, I want us to quickly remind each other about the compass direction. Remember, we know that the normal compass direction, the north will be facing up. And you are in grade 12, you will only be given the north. So it is upon you to be able to complete all the other cardinal points. So this is north. You must know by now that this is east, this is south, this is west. So to help learners remember, I always say that you must never ever smoke weed. So if you know that you must never ever smoke weed, it will help you. And it wouldn't matter how your compass is given, because sometimes you will find a compass direction facing that side, and then the examiner say this is north. You don't panic and you say this is a mistake. If the examiner says this is north, then you work with this north. The only thing that you must remember is that you must never ever smoke weed. Then this is the compass direction that you will be working with. Do you see our compass direction that is provided to us? Our north is not the normal north facing. Our north is facing that direction. So since that is north, you know that you must never, oh sorry, my hand is shaking. You know that you must never ever smoke weed. So this is the compass that you will be working with. Let us look at the question. 1.1, write down the compass direction of the bedroom from the kitchen or the dining room. So the moment you see the word from, you are going to draw your compass there. If it says from, you are going to draw your compass there. This one says from where? It says from there, from the kitchen. Where is the kitchen? This is the kitchen. So this is where we are going to draw our compass. We put it there. Remember, this is how our compass is. This is north, so we must never, ever smoke weed. What do we want? We want the compass direction of the bedroom. Where is the bedroom? Where is the bedroom? Here is the bedroom. So what is the direction? The direction is what is east. This is the bedroom. So the correct answer there, it is what? It is east. Someone else can say it is northeast, but no, it's definitely not northeast. So it is east. The correct answer is east. That is the compass direction of the bedroom when you are where? When you are at the kitchen. 1.2, determine which rooms will receive the afternoon sun. When we talk about the rooms that are receiving the afternoon sun, in Mathslit, we always say that in the rooms that will receive the afternoon sun, especially in winter, those are the rooms that are in the northern side. So we are going to take this compass direction of ours. We're going to redraw it here at the center of the house. And remember, this is our what? This is our north. And we know that we must never, ever smoke weed. So this question that is asking you about the rooms that will receive the afternoon sun, your key there, you want the rooms that are positioned in the northern side. That is how you answer that question. So the rooms that are positioned in the northern side, these are the rooms. So to answer that, your utility room and the bathroom. Those are the rooms that will receive the afternoon sun. So the key, the moment you see the question that says which rooms afternoon sun, you think of the northern side. 2.2, explain the meaning of the given scale. For you to be able to explain the meaning of the given scale, the scale that is given to us, what is the name of the scale? This is a bar scale. This is a bar scale. Remember, we work with two scales. We have a bar scale. We also have a number, or rather a ratio scale. Number or ratio scale. So a number or a ratio scale example is that one that says 1:500. This is an example of a ratio or a number scale. So explain the meaning of the scale. For you to be able to explain that scale, you must have a ruler. You cannot work with a bar scale without a ruler. And that is why when I started, I emphasized that for you to excel in paper 2, you must have your ruler. So I'm going to use millimeters and I'm going to measure the bar scale. When I measure the bar scale using millimeters, I measured it to be 18 millimeters. So what I measured what I said I'm measuring 18 millimeters. That is what I'm measuring on a piece of paper. So when I explain this, I will say 18 millimeters measured on paper or measured on the map. On the map, it is equivalent to what? It is equivalent to 5 meters. Represents 5 meters in reality. So this is how you explain the meaning of a bar scale. The next question. Pilgrim's Rest is a small museum town in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. So there is Mpumalanga. They say Pilgrim's Rest is a small museum town. So there is Pilgrim's Rest. There, it's a museum town. This town is protected as a provincial heritage site due to its historic value. Alongside is the map showing places of interest that are represented by a star. So all these stars that you are seeing there, those are the places of interest. Use the information above to answer the questions that follow. 3.1. Name the provincial road that is shown on the map. The only road that we are seeing there that is very clear, this is the R533. So the R, this R, it represents what? A provincial road. Sometimes it was not going to be the R, sometimes it was going to be the N. Let's say it was the N12. Remember, the N represents what? The national road. Sometimes it's not even the N, it's not the R, but it is the M. Let's say maybe it is 2. The M means that it is a metropolitan road. Metropolitan road. So in this case, the provincial road, it is the R533. This is the answer. 3.2. State the grid reference of Joubert Bridge. Joubert Bridge, where is it? It is here. If you cannot see it, there is Joubert Grid. So when we give the Joubert Bridge, when we give the grid reference, we look at the letters here. We also look at them at the numbers. So here is our Joburg Bridge. So it is where at B3. So the correct answer here, it is B3. That is the grid reference for the Joburg Bridge. 3.3. Complete the following sentence. The scale used in the map, this type of scale, is called a scale. What type of a scale is this one? Even though it's not visible, it looks like there's a line there. This is called a bar scale. That is the answer. 3.4. Name the tourist attraction in D4 that lies north of Robbers Grave. Here, we've got a compass direction here, meaning pointing up. That is our north. So they want the tourist attraction in D4. Where is D4? This is D. This is 4. So here, this one. And they say it is north of what? Of Robbers Grave. This is Robbers Grave. So north, it means on top of it there. On top of it. So we are looking at this place here. It is actually, if you cannot see it, it is the Store Museum. That is the Star Museum. That is the name of a tourist attraction. A tourist attraction means it's places that people can visit, places of interest. 3.5, Mpumalanga province covers an area of 76,495 square kilometers. The area of the whole of South Africa is 1,220,813 square kilometers. Calculate, rounded off to one decimal place, the percentage that Mpumalanga province make out of the whole South Africa. The moment you see the word percentage, you know that you are going to have to multiply by 100. You want the percentage of what? Of Mpumalanga out of South Africa. The one that you started with, you will write it on top to say, okay, Mpumalanga out of means out of, like when you get 10 out of 10, out of, we know we draw the line. Out of what? Out of South Africa. So South Africa will come here at the bottom because we want a percentage. That is why we multiply by 100. So this is the area for Mpumalanga. We write it. It is 76,495, and then we divide this by the total area for the whole of South Africa, which is how much? It is 1,220,813. And then we are going to multiply that by 100. Guys, this is where now you take out your calculators. You cannot guess the answer here. So let us punch this in together. I will say 76,495 divided by 1,220,813. And in the answer that I'm getting, I'm timesing it by 100. So I am getting, so it means Mpumalanga, it is 6,265906%. They said it must be rounded off to one decimal place. Did you see what I did? I'm writing the answer that I get from the calculator, and then from there I'm gonna write the final answer. Now rounding to one decimal place, it's a 6, meaning you are going to add 1 there. Then it is 6.3%. So it is very important to write the answer from the calculator, and then you write the answer after rounding. Question 4. The picture alongside represents a South African map. Answer the questions below based on the map. So we've got a map. There is a South African map. We can all see it is very clear. And then there is a scale that is provided there. The type of a scale is, it's a bar scale. Let us look at the questions. Name 2 oceans on the map. So the 2 oceans on the map, you don't even have to ask to think about it. They are very clear. We've got the Indian Ocean. We also have the South Atlantic Ocean. So let me write them down. It is the South Atlantic Ocean. And then we also have the Indian Ocean. So those are the 2 oceans that are shown on the map. 4.2, use the scale to calculate the actual distance in kilometers between Bloemfontein and Messina to the nearest kilometer. Again, you are not even given an instruction. The only thing is that you must use the scale. You must know that you cannot only use the scale, you must use a scale together with the ruler. So I want to give you guys 1 minute to attempt this question, and then I'll be back, then we can do it together. 1 minute. Hi, welcome back. Let's continue. So the first thing that you're going to do here, you're going to take your ruler and then you're going to measure your basket. When you put a ruler there, this is what we'll be doing in the exam. You'll measure the basket, the distance from here to there. I measured 18 millimeters. And then you want the distance between Bloemfontein and Messina. With Messina, you don't measure on the weight. You measure on this dot. You see this dot? That is the position of Messina. This dot, that is the position of Bloemfontein. You don't look at the writing. And then you draw a straight line with your pen. Yes, with your ruler. There is the straight line. And then you take your ruler, you measure that ruler. With that ruler, you measure the straight line. So I measured 55 millimeters. So the distance that I got there, it is 55 millimeters. So we know when it comes to our scale, it is always the map distance is to the actual distance. So I'm going to start with the distance that I measured on the bar. On the map, I measured how much? I measured 18 millimeters. And then, but in reality, it represents what? It represents 250 kilometers. And then the distance from Bloemfontein to Messina in millimeters, it was how much? The map distance, it is 55 millimeters. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the actual distance. So we are going to cross multiply. We are going to cross multiply. So it will be the actual multiplied by 18 millimeters. And then it is 55 millimeters multiplied by 250 kilometers. Remember, I want the actual, right? So for me to get the actual, I must get rid of this 18. So I will divide by 18 millimeters. When I do this side, I must also do on the other side. And then the 18 millimeters and the 18 millimeters, they cancel. I'm left with the actual equals to, look at this, the millimeters. So this millimeter will cancel that millimeter. So what am I left with? I'll be left with 55 multiplied by 250 kilometers divided by what? By 18. So the actual equals to, we are going to punch it in our calculator. Punch this in as it is to say what? We are going to say 55 multiplied by 250, and then you divide everything by 18. The answer that I'm getting, it is 763,888 kilometers. What was the instruction? Calculate the actual distance in kilometers to the nearest kilometer, meaning they want the answer as a whole number. So the answer as a whole number would be 764 kilometers. This one is quite a tricky one. It is actually a level 3 type of question because it's got multiple steps, but you've got the whole weekend. Please go and revise this with your teachers because this will also be assessed in the exam. 4.3, what is the probability as a percentage? The moment you see the word percentage, then you know that you are going to have to multiply by 100. So what is the probability as a percentage of being in a country which is neither means not South Africa, nor Lesotho. Nor also means not. So that country is not South Africa, is also not Lesotho. So we cancel Lesotho, we cancel South Africa. So what are the countries that are there? I see Namibia, I see Botswana, I see Zimbabwe, I see Mozambique. The Indian Ocean is not a country. The South Atlantic is not a country. So the countries that are not South Africa, not Lesotho, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4 over how many countries in total that are shown here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by South Africa and 6 by Lesotho. So it is 4 over 6 in total multiplied by by 100. So the answer that let's check on the calculator then. 4 divided by 6 and then multiply that by 100. The answer is 66.67%. That is the answer that we are getting. There was no instruction that we must round, just that it must be given as a percentage. The next question, the picture and the diagram below represent an American cold drink can. So there is the name of that cold drink is called American cold drink. Note that 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeters. Use the information above to answer the questions that follow. So we've got the picture of the cold drink. We also have the diagram of the cold drink. What we are noting is that on the diagram, they gave us the diameter. The moment you find the diameter on Monday, you must immediately know that you must find the radius. Even if before they tell you, immediately look for the radius. And then we've got the height. The height is 12.065 centimeters. 5.1, show with calculations that the volume of the cold drink can is 382 cubic centimeters. You may use the formula 3.142, which is pi multiplied by radius squared multiplied by height. So you will always be provided with the formula. You just have to make sure that you substitute the units that are the same. So here we've got a challenge. Our height is in centimeters, but our diameter is in inches, meaning that we need to have the same units. Because they want the answer in cubic centimeters, it means we must now convert these inches and convert them to centimeters. But we are not going to panic because we are given the conversion factor. There is the conversion factor. They said that 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeters. That is the conversion factor. And our diameter is how many inches? It is 2.5 inches. We want it in what? In centimeters. So let me just say this is our diameter. So diameter multiplied by 1, that is the diameter, equals to 2.5 inches, 0.5 inches multiplied by 2.54. So our diameter is equals to, we take out our calculator now, let's do it together, to say 2.5 multiplied by 2.54. The answer is 6.35, but now it is what it is in centimeters. We are happy, but we are not done. Remember, this is just the diameter, but we want what we want the radius. So from the diameter to get the radius, you always divide by 2, always. If you've got the diameter, divide it by 2 so that you can get the radius. And when you do that, you show it on your answer sheet. You show it. You don't do it on the side privately. So we take the diameter, we divide it by 2. We are getting 3.175 centimeters. That is the answer that you will get. So let us calculate the volume. You will say volume equals to 3.142 times, this is our radius. Remember, this is our radius. Radius is 3.175. Very, very important. The radius must be squared. And then you multiply it by the height. What is the height of the can? It is 12.065. I'm not going to write the units because the units are the same. It's centimeters, it's centimeters. And then from here, it is 3.142 times the radius. This 3.175 squared, it means 3.175 multiplied by 3.175. You multiply by itself twice. So I hope I've done it right. I'm getting 10.0 0.80625 multiplied by 12,065. So the volume is actually equals to the 3.142 multiplied by the radius multiplied by 12.065. I am getting 382,13865 centimeters cubed. But they say you must show that it's 382. How did they get that 382? They had to round. So the volume rounded, it is 382 centimeters cubed. That is our volume. Let me write it down. I hope you guys will also write it down because we might need it in the next question. So this, guys, this is a very popular question in the exam. So make sure that you understand this. But I love the fact that you have the whole weekend to also revise and make sure that you are sharp and you are ready for Monday. The picture and the diagram, okay, we've already read that. We've already established that. 5.2, the can is only filled to 95% of its volume. Calculate, rounded off to the nearest milliliter, the volume of the can. Note that 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliters. Remember, we calculated the volume of the can and we established that the volume was how much? It was 382 cubic centimeters. But if the can is full of cold drink, the cold drink is up to here. They don't fill it to the brim, because if they fill it to the brim, it will spill. So they fill it up to here. That's why they say it is only filled at 95%. So for us to find the volume of the cold drink, we must take this and then we want 95% of this. Multiply by 95%. To get the volume, we say 382 multiplied by 95%. And we are getting 362,9 centimeters cubed. So this is the new volume. But what was the instruction? They want the answer in what? In milliliters, to the nearest milliliter. We've got the conversion factor. They say 1 centimeter cubed is equals to 1 milliliter. This is the very easy conversion. It's 1:1. It means if you've got 1 centimeters cubed, it's equivalent to 1 milliliters. If you have 1,000 centimeters cubed, that is the same as 1,000 milliliters. If you've got 350 cubic centimeters, it is the same as 350 milliliters. So because here we've got this is the same as how much? As 362,9 milliliters. But because it is nearest milliliter, when you see the word the nearest, then you know that the answer must be a whole number. So we round this off to a whole number. The answer would be 300 and, I'm sorry. It would be 363 milliliters. So this is the answer that you will get. The next question, a farmer in the United States of America uses the containers that are shown to store and supply milk to local factories. Note, 1 gallon is equivalent to 4.546092 liters. 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeters. 1 milliliter is equivalent to 1 cubic centimeters. Use the information above to answer the following questions. So we've got the 330-gallon IBC tote. We've got the 55-gallon drum. And this drum, it has a diameter. It also has a height. And this box, it's got the length, the width, and the height. Let's look at the questions. 6.1, convert 55 gallons to liters. Do we have the conversion factor? Yes. There is the conversion factor. Let me write it down to say that 1 gallon is equals to 4.546092 liters. So how many gallons are we converting? 55. We'll then say 55 gallons is equals to, we want the number of liters. So let me just say liters. We don't know, we want the number of liters. So we'll then just cross multiply. So we'll say the liters equals to, it will be 55 multiplied by 55 multiplied by 4,546092. So we are going to punch this in our calculator and say 55 multiplied by 4,546092. The answer there, it is how much? It is 250,03506. But remember what we're looking for? We're looking for liters. So this answer, it is in what? It is in liters. But there was also this instruction, nearest whole number. It means they want the answer as a whole without any decimals. So let me write it on top then. Without any decimals, the answer there would be 250 liters. That is how you answer this particular question. There's the next question. Write down 2 dairy products that can be produced by using milk. This one is a general knowledge question. What are the dairy products that can be produced using milk? You can say long life milk. Long life milk is milk. So the one that I can think about, I'm thinking about cheese. What else can you think about? Yogurt. What about butter? Okay, but the ones that I can actually think about now, it is cheese and yogurt. These are the items that can be produced using what? Using dairy products. If there is more, you can also write that, but don't say milk. Milk is a dairy product. That is the original dairy product. So you can say milk. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, yeah, you can say milk. No. The next question. Abel wants to build a backyard patio using bricks. The patio will be fenced and paved. Abel will also add a round 12-inch high fire pit built with bricks in one of the corners of the patio. So here is the fire pit. The diameter of the fire pit is 91.44 centimeters. Because the fire pit is a circle, it has a diameter. The diameter is given as 91.44 centimeters. So there is the patio. We can all see the shape of the patio. Let's look at our questions. 7.1. Calculate the total length of the fencing that is required for the patio. The moment you see the word total length, then what must come into your mind is what is perimeter. It means they want me to find the perimeter. The moment you see total length, then just know that that is the perimeter. So we've got the shape. So if you want the perimeter, you will take, remember the perimeter is the distance surrounding a shape. We are only focusing on the outside part. We are looking at this and this and this and the one that is here and the one that is here. This one inside here, we are not interested. And this is equivalent to this. So it means even this side, it is also what? It is also 5,5 meters. So before we can calculate, check if your units are the same. Are the units the same? Yes. Then we can nicely do our total length. Then we'll say the total length will be equals to, you start here, 3 meters plus 5.5 meters plus 2.5 meters plus 3.9 meters plus 5.5 meters. Did I start with I started with this 3, then it was the 5.5, then 2.5, 3.9, and the last 5.5. So let us take out our calculators. Let's do it together. Please take out your calculators. Let's punch together. So it is 3 plus 5.5 plus 2.5 plus 3.9 plus 5.5. The answer that I'm getting there, it is 20.5 meters. So that is the answer that we get. That will be the total length of the fencing that will be needed to fence this entire patio. 7.2, the height of the fire pit. Remember, this is the fire pit, so it means the depth, how deep it is. It is 30.48 centimeters. Calculate in square centimeters the lateral surface area of the fire pit. The nicest thing about this part of mathematical literacy is that you will always be provided with the formula. When you are given the formula, number one, check that all your units are the same. That's the golden rule. If the units are not the same, you change them. You make all the units to be the same. And then number two, if you got the diameter, convert the diameter into a radius, because this formula, it wants you to work with the radius. So let us look at our height. Our height that is provided, it is how much it is. It is, they said, the fire pit, the height of the fire pit is 30.48 centimeters there. 30.48 centimeters. And then the radius, do we have the radius? We only know that there is a diameter. Diameter is equals to 91.44 centimeters. Let's do our checklist. Are the units the same? Yes. Do we have the radius? No, we've got the diameter. But if we have the diameter, we are just going to divide by 2 to find the radius. Then we can say 91.44 divided by 2. What is the answer? It is 45.72 centimeters. That is what, that is our radius. So if we want now, we can come and substitute into the formula. Because we have the radius, we also have the height. We'll say this is equals to 2 times 3,142 times, what is the radius? It is 45.72, and then multiplied by the height. What is the height? Is 13.48. And then we are not going to guess the answer here. We are just going to punch everything in the calculator. Then we'll say 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 45.72 multiplied by 30.48. And the answer that I'm getting there, it is 8,757,04055. And remember, we multiplied the centimeters with the centimeters, so it means the answer is in centimeters squared. They didn't say we must round or anything, but I think let's just round it off to 2 decimal places. So it is 8,757,040 centimeter squared. So this is our answer. Because there was no instruction, even if you didn't round, you leave it there, you will still get your full marks. I was just rounding because I feel uncomfortable working with so many decimal numbers. But whether you round or not, you will not be penalized because there was no instruction here. 7.3, calculate the total surface area of the patio. You may use the following formula. Remember, the surface area, it is the flat part of the patio. So the patio, and then remember, this is not the patio, this is a hole. So it means there's no space. It is not a patio. If you are going to tile this place, you are not going to tile this part. So we've got 3 shapes here. We've got the rectangular part. This is the rectangular part. And this side is equivalent to 5.5 meters. And then we've got the triangular part. Can you all see the triangular part? This is the triangular part. Then we've got the circle. So let us start by calculating the area of the rectangle. So the area of the rectangle I'll draw the shape. The area of the rectangle, it is length multiplied by width. And what is the length? It is 5.5 meters. Multiplied by the width, what is the width? It is 3 meters. So the answer, we punch in our calculators, 5.5 multiplied by 3. The answer is 16.5 meter squared. We are happy. So even if you didn't understand what is going on here, but because you are given the formula, then you can do something. Let us now do the area of the triangle. I'm not going to do the circle yet. Let me do the area of the triangle. That is easier. Let's say you are in the exam. You work with what you have. So the area of the triangle is equals to half times. What is the base? This is the base. The base is 2.5 meters. Multiplied by what is the height? This is the height. So remember, this height is the same as this 3. So the height is actually 3 meters. So I'm going to write the 3 meters here. Then let us punch on our calculators. Height is the same as 0.5 multiplied by 2.5 of the base multiplied by 3 of the height. The answer is 3.75 meters. Now we want the area of the circle. But remember, with the circle, we were given the diameter, and then that diameter, we divided it by 2 in the previous question to get the radius. So I'll do it again. We say 91.44 divided by 2. We got 45.72. This is 45.72 centimeters. We've got a challenge because everything else is in meters. So this is the only one. The fire pit is the only one with centimeters. So let us convert from meters to from centimeters to meters. What do? We divide. Let me write it here. The radius, it is 45.72 centimeters. So to convert from centimeters to meters, we are converting from a smaller one to a bigger one. Therefore, we are going to divide. We divide by how much? By 100. So the answer that I'm getting there would be how much? Would be 0.4572 meters. So that is the new radius in meters. Then let us say the area of the circle. This is quite lengthy. Area of the circle, it is 3.142 multiplied by the radius. How much is the radius? This is the radius, 0.4572 meters, but this must be what it must be. It must be squared. So the area of the circle equals to, let us punch in our calculators, is 3.142 multiplied by 0.4572 multiplied by 0.4572. And the answer that I'm getting here, it is 0.656778 meter squared. Now that we've got the 3 areas, we want the total surface area of the patio. So this is the patio. The entire rectangle is the patio, and the triangle is the patio. But because here there's a hole, it means there's nothing here. It is the hole that is occupied by the fire pit. So we'll take the area of the triangle, add it to the area of the rectangle, but we are gonna subtract the area of the circle. We are subtracting it because of this open space there. I hope you understand. So I will say the total surface area will be equals to area of the rectangle, 16.5, plus area of the triangle, 3.75, minus area of the circle, which is 0.656778. So the total surface area, let's do it together. We say 16.5 plus 3.75 minus 0.656778. The answer there, it is 19.59 meter squared. This is the total surface area of the what of the patio. So it was quite long, but guys, these are the questions that you should expect for Monday's question paper. And just because it's long, it doesn't mean that it is difficult. Just because that it is long, it doesn't mean that it is undoable. It is doable, it is possible. You are given the formula. Number one, I said you check that all units are the same. Number two, you convert your diameter to a radius. You do not substitute the diameter where there's a radius in the formula. And you cannot substitute units that are not the same. Never. The next question. Ruth is the mother to twins. The twins are Nick and Nicolene. She is very health conscious and regularly monitors their body mass index. On a particular day, she recorded the twins' mass and height as follows. So there is the twins. There they are. It's Nick and Nicolene. Their masses. Nick is 56 kilograms heavier. Nicolene is 45 kilograms heavier. Their height. Nick is 1.65 meters tall. Nicolene is 60 inches tall. Already we have a problem. The units of the heights are not the same. You are already thinking that this is a problem and I need to resolve it. Luckily, there's a note that 1 centimeter is equals to 0.3937 inches, meaning you are either going to convert these meters to inches or you are going to convert these inches to meters. 9.1, convert, rounded off to 2 decimal places, Nicolene's height to meters. This is Nicolene. What is his height? It is 60 inches. So we've got the conversion factor then, that 1 centimeter is equivalent to 0.3937 inches. What do we have? We've got the inches, and we say 60 inches is equals to what? We want then the height. So when you cross multiply, you will find that the height, it is equals to 16 inches divided by 0.3937 inches, so that the inches and the inches can cancel. Therefore, the height equals to, let's check it on the calculator. We'll say 16 divided by 0.3937, 0.3937. The answer is 152,400,348. But what was the instruction? 2 decimal places. You see what I'm doing? I write the answer from the calculator as it is, then I write the rounded off answer. It is 152,4, but the unit is what it is, centimeters. Oh, they want the answer in what? In meters. So you must still further convert. So from centimeters to meters, we are going to divide. We divide by what? By 100. So the answer is going to be what? It is 1, 2 decimal places is going to be 1,5252 meters. That is the new height. The height in meters, it is 1,52 meters. Let me write it down. I hope you guys are also copying it down for later on, because it might be required in the next question. I hope we are okay. I hope we are fine. We are following, because these conversions will also be on Monday's paper. 9.2, Ruth states that the difference between the twins' BMI is less than 1 kilogram per square meter. Remember, this is the unit for what? For BMI. verify, showing all calculations whether his statement is correct. So the formula for BMI, it was supposed to be provided. BMI is equals to mass or weight, and the mass must always be in kilograms, always. You cannot calculate BMI with a mass of grams. If the mass is in grams, then you must convert it to kilograms. Over height squared. That height, it must be in what? It must be in meters, and always remember to square the height. So let us start with Nick. Nick's BMI, we'll say BMI for Nick equals to the mass. What is Nick's mass? It is 56 kilograms. Over what is Nick's height? It is 1.65 meters. But the height must always be what it must be. It must be squared. Then we will say 56 kilograms over 165 squared is the same as 1,65 multiplied by 1,65. And the answer there is 2,725 meter squared. So then we'll say 56 kilogram divided by 2,725. I am getting 20,56932. The unit is kilogram per meter squared. So this is the BMI for who? For Nick. Let us check the BMI for Nicolene. So we'll say BMI Nicolene. It is the mass. What is the mass? It is 45 kilograms. What is the height? Remember, we already calculated the height in the previous question, and the height was 1.52. It was 1.52 or 1.52 meters. So over 1,52 meters, but it must be what it must be. It must be squared. So that is 45 kilograms over 1,52 multiplied by 1,52. 1.52 times 1.52, it is 2,3104 meter squared. And then you'll say 45. I hope you guys are punching this. You are working this out with me. 45 divided by 2,3104. The answer is 19,477,164,146,146,81. And this is what? Kilograms per meter squared. What was the question? The difference between the twins' BMI. What is the meaning of difference? Difference means subtract. So when you subtract, we'll subtract the bigger BMI from the smaller one. So the bigger one, it is 20. So 20,56932 minus this one, minus 19,477,146,8. So we'll say 20,56932 minus the 19,477,146,81. The answer that I'm getting there, it is 1,092 kilograms per meter squared. What was the statement? She states that the difference is less than 1 kilogram. Is it true? Is it less than 1? No, it's actually more than 1. So we can say, therefore, the claim was invalid, or the statement is invalid. So it's very, very important to make a conclusion, because after all the calculations, you must give a conclusion to say, therefore, it was valid, or therefore, it was not valid. So it is not valid because it is definitely not less than 1, but instead, it is actually more than 1. So please make sure that you revise the section of BMI again over the weekend, and your growth charts and your percentiles, revise those because those can also be found under paper 2. The next question below is a recipe that Michelle will use to make the rusk for her husband. So there is the recipe for the buttermilk rusk. The ingredients are given, and very important, this recipe makes 25 rusks. So let us look at the questions. The first question, write down the amount of butter in grams you need to make 25 rusks. So this recipe is for 25 grams. I'm sorry, for 25 rusks. So how much butter is needed here? There is butter in grams. It is how much? It is 500 grams of butter. That is the answer. That's it. You don't have to do any calculations. 10.2, convert the mass of the self-raising flour as indicated in the ingredients to grams. So let us first check for self-raising flour. There is the self-raising flour. The mass is what? It's 1,5 kilograms. So what must we do? We must convert this word to grams. What is the converting factor again between grams and kilograms? The converting factor is it's 1,000. So now we are converting from a bigger one to a smaller one. From a bigger unit to a smaller unit. What do? We multiply. So we are going to multiply by what? By 1,000. The conversion factor is 1,000. Let's take out the calculator. It's 1.5 multiplied by 123. It is 1,500. So this is 1,500. 1,500 what? Grams. So this is the answer in grams. You've got your 2 marks there. The next one, Michelle calculated that it would take her an extra 40 minutes to mix all of the ingredients and shape them into balls. At what time must she start mixing the ingredients if she wants to put the rusk in the oven to bake at 1535? So what is actually happening here, they want you to reverse the time. If she must put them at this time in the oven. So, but they say it would take an extra 40 minutes to mix the ingredients. So if it takes her 40 minutes, it means she must reverse this time by what? By 40 minutes. So you will say 15 hours, 35 minutes minus 00 hours and what? And 40 minutes. So how do you do that? You can, it's easier. You can just do this using a calculator, or we can use what? We can use the time calculator. So normally what I do, I would say, okay, this 15 hours minus 35 minutes. Minus 35 minutes, I will have 1500. But then because I've subtracted 35 minutes here, it means I'm still left with how many minutes? I'm still left with 5 minutes. So from this 1500, if I take out 5 minutes, it means the time that is left is what? It is 14 what? 14, 15, 55, which is what? 5 to 3 o'clock. So this is the time whereby this person must start mixing the ingredients. She must mix the ingredient at 14:55 for 40 minutes, so that by 15:35 she is done. Then she can start baking. You can do it like this, or you can do it on your calculator. Either way, we must all end up at the same answer. 10.6, Michelle has a friend in America who wants to use the recipe, but her oven's temperature is in degrees Fahrenheit. Convert the 180 degrees to degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit and give your answer to the nearest 10. You may use the following formula. Temperature in degrees Fahrenheit is equals to degrees Celsius multiplied by 1.8 plus 32. So I will say temperature is equals to, what is our degrees Celsius? Our degrees Celsius is 180. So 180 multiplied by 1.8 plus 32. And then, guys, BODMAS. BODMAS is very, very important. BODMAS says you must first multiply, then you will add later. Or you just punch it in as it is on your calculator, because your calculator can actually do what? BODMAS. So you will say 180 multiplied by 1.8 plus 32. The answer that I'm getting there, it is 356 degrees Fahrenheit. There was an instruction. What was the instruction? Give your answer to the nearest 10. If it says nearest something, like in this case nearest 10, it means your answer must be in multiples of 10. It must be 10, 20, 30, 40. If they were saying to the nearest 20, then your answer would be in multiples of 20. If they say to the nearest 100, then your answer must be in multiples of 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. If they say to the nearest 1,000, your answer must be in multiples of 1,000. So in this case, we have 356. So you look at the 56 and you ask yourself, 56, is it nearer to 50 or is it nearer to 60? I think this one is clear. It is actually nearer to 60. So the answer will be 360 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is how you do your rounding. The next question, Avela wants to create a safe space for children to play. The U-shaped diagram below shows the playground at a school. Explain the term perimeter in the context of the playground. When they say the context is basically what the scenario or the story. So in this case, in the story of what? Of the playground. When we explain perimeter, we always say perimeter, it is the total distance around a shape. But this time, we're not talking about a shape. What are we talking about? About the playground. So we'll then say perimeter is the total distance or the total length around the playground. Around the playground. So that is how we will answer this question. 11.2. Determine the length of fencing that is required to fence the playground. So the length of fencing, it means you are going to fence the entire place, this place of the playground. In actual fact, what you are calculating here, you are calculating the perimeter. So the moment you see they determine the length of fencing that is required, they want you to find the perimeter. And what did you say the perimeter is? The total length. That before you can calculate, you check, are your units the same? All the units are in meters except this one, which is 1,200 centimeters. Let us convert it. So 1,200 centimeters, you are converting from a smaller unit to meters. A meter is big. So you are going to divide. You divide by how much? By 100. So the answer that I'm getting, it is 12 meters. 1,200 divided by 100, it is 12 meters. So it means here, it is actually a length of 12 meters. So if you want the total length, it's equals to, you start here with the 3 meters plus 7 meters plus 6 meters plus 10 meters plus 3 meters plus 15 meters plus 12 meters plus the last one, another 12 meters. So we take out our calculator. Let's do it together. You guys must also do it that side. You will say 3 plus 7 plus 6 plus 10 plus 3 plus 15 plus 12 plus 12. The answer that I'm getting is 68. I hope there's no mistake. That is the correct answer. It is 68 meters. So that is the total length of this particular shape. The next one, we've done a lot of questions on time. So this is just a recap to remind you. Sam started the generator on Tuesday at the time that is shown on the watch below. So this is the time that is shown. Identify the type of clock that is used. This clock, when we were growing up, we used to call it a panya. But the correct mathematical literacy language, it is what? It is a digital clock. We call it a digital clock. So we have a digital clock, we have an analog clock. An analog is the normal round watch. This one, it is called a digital clock. Please don't forget on Monday if it is there. The next question, identify the time format that is shown on the watch. We've got two types of time formats. We've got the 12-hour format. We also have the 24-hour format. The 12-hour format, it is that one when you write it, we use the AM or the PM to indicate whether it's in the morning or it's in the afternoon. Whereas with the 24-hour format, in the mornings, we know is between 0 and 11:59 during the day. The afternoon, it is from 12:00 until 23:59 in the evening. That is the 24-hour format. So the fact that it is 21 here, it is 21, it is more than 12. So that means that this is the 24-hour format. So the time format that is shown there, it is the 24-hour format. Don't forget this. 12.3, write the time that is shown above in the 12-hour format. Remember I said the 12-hour format, we use AM for time in the morning and PM for time in the afternoon. This is 21. This tells you that it is 9 o'clock in the evening. Therefore, it will be what? It will be PM. So how will we write it? You will write it as 09:58 PM. We don't usually indicate the seconds. So this is 09:58 PM. The PM here, it tells us that this is the time in the evening. The next question, Gerda Stein, that is the 2023 women's runner record breaker, covered the marathon distance of 56 kilometers. The marathon organizer said that she was running at an average speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Calculate the time it took her to complete the marathon. The question wants us to calculate what? Time. But what did they give us? They gave us the speed formula. Let us do a quick recap on how to do this, because this is also going to be in the exam. We use what? We use the DSTV formula, meaning that if we are looking for speed, speed will be here equals to what is on top of speed? It is the distance on top. What is at the bottom? It is the time. So this line here, this line, it means what? It means division. And this line in between them, it means what? It means multiply. So between D and T, there's this line, which means that speed is equals to distance over time. If I was looking for time, time would be equals to, you ask yourself again, what is on top of time? It is the D. You write the D. And what is at the bottom? It is the S. Between D and S, there's this line. And remember, this line means what? It means division. So it means if you want time, it is equals to distance over speed. But now if you want the distance equals to, there's nothing on top of D, there's nothing everything is at the bottom. So you've got the S, you write the S, and next to the S, the T is right next to the S. So you write the T there, but in between them, there's this line, and this line means what? It means multiplication. So this is the multiplication. So if you wanted the distance would be speed multiplied by time, and the time formula would be the distance over the speed. So this is what the examiner will give you. They will give you an irrelevant formula, so you must play around with the formula, because here you've got the distance. They told you that the distance is 56 kilometers. And what did they give you? They also gave you the speed, to say that the speed is equals to 20 kilometers per hour. So what are we looking for? We are looking for time. So do you see that this formula is irrelevant? So which formula must we use? This formula here. So we'll say t equals to distance over speed. What is our distance? It is 56 kilometers. What is our speed? It is 20 kilometers per hour. And then our kilometer and kilometer, they will cancel. Our time equals to, we say 56 divided by 20. I am getting 2.8 hours. What was the instruction? They just wanted us to calculate the time it took her to complete the marathon. So it took her 2.8 hours. We don't have to do any conversions. This question is very important. There's no way you'll write paper 2, you don't come across a question whereby you have to manipulate the formula. There is no way. The next one, in picture 1 and picture 2, two clocks are shown. We've got the first clock, we've got the second clock. Name the two time formats that are used to display the time on the clocks. So this one, it is your analog. Remember, I told you that this is the analog. And then this one here, it is your digital, the panya. But you can't write panya in the exam. It is a digital. The other one, it is the analog. The next question, you must write down in words the time that is displayed in picture 2. So this is 5:44. Guys, there's no such time as 5:44. You must say it properly. So this is actually 16 minutes. 16 minutes to, actually, let me say it correctly. 16 minutes to 6. They didn't tell us whether it's in the morning or it's in the afternoon. If it was in the morning, we'll say 16 minutes to 6 in the morning. If it was in the afternoon, we'll say 16 minutes to 6 in the afternoon. So this is how we write. You can't say it's 5:44. That is not how we say it. So it's 16 minutes to 6. That is how you will answer this question. Convert 13 hours 57 minutes to 2 hours. How do we convert from minutes to hours? The conversion factor is what? Is 60. And then between minutes and hours, which one is bigger? It is hours. So we already have the 13 hours. We are happy. You don't have to convert that. Plus minutes. Minutes are smaller. So we are converting from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. Therefore, we are going to divide. So this plus 57 minutes divide. We divide by what? By 16. So this would be 13 hours plus. Punch your calculator. You say 57, and then we divide that by 16. It is 0.95. But remember now, it is what it is. It is hours. So you just add the 2 plus 13. You get 13.95 hours. So this is how you convert from minutes to hours. And then you've got your 2 marks. And you don't have to show all these steps that I'm showing. If you're able to get a shortcut, because it's only for 2 marks, you do exactly that. I'm showing you this so that you understand where everything is coming from. And then, girls and boys, we have come to the last lesson of mathematical literacy. I hope it was an inspirational journey. I hope you guys learned from all the lessons that we did from the beginning of the year right up until today. And I wish you all the best in your future plans. May all your dreams come true. I hope one day our paths will meet somewhere. I don't even know where, but one day I hope to see all of you somewhere, and I hope all of you do well in this thing called life. All the best on paper too. Remember to be on time. Remember your ruler. Remember your calculator, your blue pen, your pencil, and your eraser. Good luck with our Monday paper and for the rest of the exam papers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until we meet again.